Right here with National Race Director of the Canada Running Series, Alan Brookes. Great race out there today.
Fantastic. A huge shout out and thanks to the more than 6,000 runners out here today, and glorious. I can't believe people say it rains in Vancouver. 12 degrees at the start this morning, not a cloud in the sky then, a couple now, hardly a breath of wind, perfect running conditions, and yeah, some great racing out there. The exciting news, I guess, for the men is Dylan's back, and as I was tweeting, that's all everybody else saw. Dylan's back. Dylan Wykes has had a tough 2 years after London 2012, but he started to turn the screws around 5K today in old Dylan style there, back to top form, and he went through 10K in under 30 minutes, and it was really race over by then by the time we got to Spanish Banks, and the rest were there to fight over the scraps. King Kip Kangogo was humbled a little today, a distant second, but he definitely hung on to second, and local hero Rob Watson, also from BC Endurance like Dylan, came through and took third. Sammy Jibril from Athletics Toronto, fine young talent, is still feeling his way. Said he was very pleased with today's race. It's about gaining experience for him. He hung on to Eric Gillis at the Bank Scotia 21K National Half Marathon Championships in April in Montreal, for about 15K, and he and Kip tried to hang on to Dylan as long as they could today, but Dylan was the man of the day today in the men's side. The women's race, Lanny Marchand, 5 weeks today. She'll be racing with that Canadian best in Commonwealth Games Marathon in Glasgow, and it was she was saying her training's been up and down because she's done so much racing since Boston. So today was a real confidence booster, and again, she was the class of the women's field, but a marvelous battle for second. Newfoundland's Kate Baisley, who won the BMO Vancouver half here, going up against Kim Dirksen from Gibson's, who won the women's marathon in Vancouver in May. And then the big shock of the day, perhaps, maybe now the toast of Victoria, Marilyn Arsenault, 46 years young, stormed through to pass Kim Dirksen coming up that beastly Burrard Bridge, and Marilyn took third. Kate Baisley second, Marilyn third, Kim Dirksen gaining valuable experience in fourth, and Catherine Watkins was fifth. So super day of racing out there, competition galore, and that's what it's all about at Canada Running Series. Get a quality international race at home without having to travel abroad for that vital international experience. I was just chatting with Kim Dirksen and saying in the early 80s, when I did a lot of my running, competitive racing as a club runner, I trained some with Sylvia Ruga then, and all the time she talked about the importance of a young girl from the farm in Newcastle, Ontario, getting out and getting international competition. And I think that's the big thing that Scotia Toronto Waterfront provides. Our guys, Eric, Reed, Dylan, Lanny, Krista, they know now that they can race against top international athletes, and they can perform well, and they can get on the podium. And hey, Canadians, we can mix it up with the best. Well, you always want to build a race, so you're always trying to improve the quality of the race, and for sure, if we can improve our course records for men and women, but we also want to make a competitive field. So if we're lucky enough to be able to get the Dylans and the Reeds and the Erics and the Robs running, we'll want to build a 206, 207 race, but we'll want to build a 209 race to get that Canadian men's record this year and have some international guys to mix in with our guys at 2.9. And if Lanny has a good race in Glasgow and recovers, and we can entice her back with a $30,000 bonus for a new Canadian women's record, it'll be $38,000 for the men's record this year if they can take it. Then we'll certainly be putting together a 226, 227 race. That's the home field advantage, that we can set up the pacing, we can set up the competition so that playing at home, there's a home crowd, and you're doing everything you can possibly within the parameters of what's legal and in the spirit of fair competition to give our home men and women every chance for a great performance. Thanks, Chris, and thanks for coming out this weekend. Keep up the great work at Athletics Illustrated.